Hello everyone, welcome into the NovaCare Complex for this Tuesday edition of Eagles 360 presented by Xfinity. Both Mike Groh and Jim Schwartz held their weekly press conferences today. The big takeaway? Hey, we're going to get this fixed. On a mission to do what we do better, longer, where it all comes down to execution.
There's always things you can do better. There's always calls you can play better. There are calls you can call better. There's things the defense players can do a little bit better. Sometimes you need to tip your cap to an opponent. I mean, I think there's some humility that's involved in that. I have a lot of respect for what Cam did in that game. He was having probably the worst day of his career, and that's tough duty. I've seen that a lot of times when you can't get anything going and it sort of rolls up and you finish the game that way. But as a competitor and as an opponent, I have a lot of respect for what he was able to do in that game. And sometimes you do need to tip your cap to an opponent.
Nobody's satisfied with the production and the results that we've gotten by any means. And trust me, we're working hard to try to get it fixed.
Obviously, there's a sense of urgency. I mean, everybody's really upset with the last game. We one of the worst closing quarters that I've ever been a part of, for sure. Obviously, everybody's embarrassed of the outcome. The reality is, 17 points in this league isn't good enough to win a game, and we got to do better than that. We got to do better for our defense, and we got to do better for this team.
As the defending champions in a wide-open NFC East, every player knows what the expectations are in Philadelphia. And yes, the Eagles thrived with an underdog mentality last season, but now the goal is hitting 4-4 heading into the bye week. There's still a lot of football left to play.
There's two things we can do as a defense. One is hold the score down, and number two is put our offense in position to score or score ourselves. And that's a thing that was a common theme for us last year, that we haven't really been able to get our feet under us this year in creating those game-changing plays. Any of those games, like before we gave up the 4th and 10 play, I mean, we were, a couple inches away from getting an interception. When Cam throws the ball, he's getting hit, and it's that close to stripping the ball. This is a game of inches. It doesn't change the win or the loss, but that's just what you have to do. We need to find a way to come up with those plays without pressing, without playing out of our character.
We like to spread the ball around, and we got to be able to do that against his defense. Their reputation precedes them. They've got excellent secondary. They're strong up front, put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. We got to be able to get the ball out of our hand and spread the ball around and find favorable matchups. And again, we have good players in that huddle, and we're confident about their ability to show up on Sunday and make plays.
As the Eagles prepare for their first regular season game in London for the franchise, we have a stacked day on the menu for you Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Amoroso's. It all kicks off at 10:30 a.m. Doug Peterson steps to the mic for his second press conference of the week. Then Jaguars head coach Doug Marrone will jump on a conference call, followed by another edition of Eagles 360 presented by Xfinity.